As a specialist agency that's working with direct advertisers, we feel that there's a real industry sort of challenge, which is around measurement, which is holding back investment into digital as a channel. That challenge has only got worse, I think, over the last 5 or 6 years, as there's been a massive proliferation of devices. So people are consuming content online in lots of different ways, on different devices and in different environments between web and app. So joining up and understanding user journeys in that increasingly complex world has been a challenge. And as a result, lots of digital marketing activities happen in silos and has been measured in silos. So having a solution like Atlas, which allows us to measure the way that people move across those different devices, and allows us to measure much more effectively the return on investment and effectiveness of our advertisers' investments.
We see marketers are challenged in today's world. It's a multi-device, multi-browser, multi-app world, and we work with marketers and agencies such as Infectious to really measure true reach across those different devices, browsers and publishers. This adds huge value specifically, to all media, but in the programmatic ecosystem, where clients, advertisers are really trying to get a view on how people are interacting with their assets in those different environments, and then crucially how to optimize against the signals that we're able to help bring in to bidders and to the execution.
So we've been working really closely with Atlas on this. We see this as a real game changer in the way that we can now measure across different devices. It's very, very common for users to switch across 2 or 3 or more devices on their journey to buying a product. So having a very, very clear view and a really solid way of measuring that and understanding that journey to a product is essential for strategic planning. One client we're working with used the insight from a campaign that we measured using Atlas to understand that they had a problem with their mobile site. It wasn't just necessarily a media campaign optimization, but we identified there was a big drop-off in mobile conversions, so they were able to re-engineer the sign-up process on their mobile site to fix that problem. It's really powerful, and it can inform decision-making, not just in media, but across digital as a channel. I think the other thing that we find people-based measurement is very good for is verifying hypotheses and challenging assumptions. We've got a couple of good examples actually. The first is a client of ours, Shop Direct Group. And we use Atlas in a couple of different ways for Shop Direct Group. The first is to verify our targeting, our audience targeting. So to understand how accurate third-party data sources might be that we're using to target advertising. And it's interesting that many are not that accurate. So that allows us to kind of tune and optimize who we buy with and where we source our data from, which is really important. And the second way is to truly understand the value and ROI from different channels, and particularly mobile. Another client of ours, MBNA Bank of America, we're using Atlas in a more holistic way to measure not just cross-device ROI, but cross-channel ROI, and to understand the movement of customers through different channels as well as different screens. So we're measuring across PPC activity, social and display activity, and cross-device as well. So it's just a more complex data set that allows us to optimize cross-channel as well as cross-device, which is very interesting.
Broadly, there's 3 areas we're working with advertisers, 2 of which Andy's mentioned. There's a third area, which is offline sales. So if you have first-party sales data, you can bring it into Atlas, and then we can show what impact your digital campaigns had in driving those offline sales. What we're seeing at the moment is advertisers and agencies are using our data to work with publishers to challenge them on accuracy of targets. Secondly, we are seeing advertisers and agencies rethink the role of mobile in the decision-making process. Longer term, we expect to see these capabilities really challenge the existing ad tech ecosystem and proxy KPIs that marketing teams are currently running their quarters and running their campaigns on. They're using the best that exists at the moment, but I think what is clear is that there is now a better, more accurate way to measure that activity, and we expect to see that expand.